welcome to our deep dive into cryptocurrency.
Oh, yeah.
Specifically, looks like you've been digging into centralized crypto exchanges.
Yeah, fascinating stuff.
Got a whole bunch of your articles and notes right here.
Yeah.
Those are basically like the big marketplaces where all the crypto trading action happens.
It is.
Like buying Bitcoin, Ethereum, all that.
Mm.
So we're going to use all this to kind of figure out what these exchanges are all about. The
Awesome.
good, the bad, the ugly.
The good, the bad, and the ugly.
And how they fit into the whole picture of crypto.
Yeah.
Especially looking at, some of the big players like Binance and Coinbase.
Definitely.
So for anyone just joining us,
Yeah.
centralized exchanges or CEXs,
Right.
think of them kind of like the Amazon of crypto.
Mm.
They're online platforms that let you easily buy, sell, trade, all sorts of digital assets.
Yeah, they handle all that kind of complicated stuff behind the scenes.
Right.
So it's very appealing, especially for newcomers.
Yeah.
And they tend to have really user-friendly interfaces as well.
Yeah, like Coinbase, for example.
Coinbase is a great one, yeah?
I've used a few.
Yeah.
And that one is definitely
Cozy.
one of the easiest to navigate,
Yeah.
even for someone like me,
Right.
who's still learning,
Still kind of figuring it all out.
figuring it out. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's been, a key part of their strategy,
Yeah.
making crypto accessible to the masses.
Right.
And that ease of use, that's just the tip of the iceberg when it comes to the advantages of CEXs.
All right. Well, give me the rundown.
Yeah.
What else makes these exchanges so popular?
Well, one word, liquidity.
Okay.
Take Binance, for example.
Mm.
Biggest player in the game, handles massive trading volumes,
Right.
tons of buyers and sellers.
Yeah.
So you can usually trade really quickly and easily without huge price fluctuations.
Ah, so it's all about that smooth trading experience.
It is.
I've definitely experienced that frustration
Yeah.
on some of those smaller platforms where you can get stuck with like a bad price because
Yeah.
there's not enough people trading.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And don't forget the convenience factor.
Mm.
With most CEXs, you can just like seamlessly convert your fiat currency,
Yeah.
your dollars, euros, whatever,
Right.
directly into crypto.
Yep. It acts as that crucial bridge between the traditional financial world and the crypto space.
That's a huge plus, especially for people just starting out.
For sure.
It's like that on-ramp.
The on-ramp to the crypto highway.
The crypto highway, exactly.
Yeah.
And it's not just about buying and selling either.
Right.
Some of these platforms are getting pretty creative
Absolutely.
with like extra features and stuff.
Yeah, you've got like advanced trading tools for the experienced traders, things like margin trading, futures.
Oh, wow.
Then there's features like staking, where you can earn interest on your crypto holdings.
Oh, okay.
Binance has really been pushing the envelope with their Binance Earn program, offering a ton of ways to earn passive income.
It's like they're trying to become a one-stop shop for all things crypto.
They are.
From basic trading to like more, advanced stuff.
Totally. And it's worth noting that a lot of CEXs also provide customer support,
Oh,
which is a big deal compared to the often like DIY world of decentralized platforms.
Right.
If you have a problem, you can actually reach out to somebody for help.
Yeah, it's like that safety net.
Yeah,
That can be really reassuring,
for sure.
especially for newcomers.
Yeah,
So far, CEXs seem pretty amazing.
they do. They do.
But, as I'm learning, nothing in the crypto world is without its downsides.
Got it.
Yeah.
CEXs have a lot to offer,
Yeah.
but there are definitely risks and challenges you need to be aware of.
Okay, let's flip the coin over.
All right.
What are some of the potential downsides
Okay.
of using centralized exchanges?
Well, one of the biggest concerns is security. These platforms hold vast amounts of cryptocurrency,
Right.
which makes them prime targets for hackers. Remember the Mt. Gox hack back in 2014?
Oh, yeah.
Millions of dollars worth of Bitcoin just vanished.
That was a major turning point, wasn't it?
It was.
Even though security measures have improved since then.
Of course, yeah.
Those early hacks really highlight like the risks involved.
Totally.
Yeah.
And the not your keys, not your coins mantra you see in the crypto community.
Right.
Well, Mt. Gox is a perfect example of why that's so important.
Yeah.
People lost their funds because they didn't control their own private keys, the codes that give you access to your crypto.
Right.
Yeah.
That really drives home the point.
Yeah.
So with a CEX,
Yeah.
you're essentially trusting them to keep your crypto safe,
You are.
which is convenient, but also a little unnerving when you think about it.
It is a trade-off.
Yeah.
And this whole idea of trusting a central authority with your crypto kind of clashes with the whole decentralized ethos that crypto was built on.
Right.
That tension is a big part of the ongoing debate about CEXs.
So it's like the very thing that makes CEXs so appealing,
Right.
that ease of use convenience
Yeah.
also kind of goes against some of the fundamental principles of cryptocurrency.
It does. It's like a paradox.
Yeah.
It really is. And this tension plays out in another big area, too.
Okay.
Regulation.
Yeah.
Governments and regulators are still trying to figure out how to handle this whole crypto thing.
Right.
And that creates a lot of uncertainty for CEXs.
Yeah, it seems like every other week
Yeah.
there's a new headline about some regulatory crackdown or investigation.
Absolutely.
Wild West out there.
It's a Wild West. Think of it this way.
Yeah.
The traditional financial system was built for, a different era. It's like trying to fit a square peg into a round hole.
So how are these platforms like Coinbase and Binance navigating this constantly shifting regulatory landscape?
They've taken very different approaches, which I think is super interesting.
Okay.
Coinbase is trying to be the good guy, especially in the U.S.
Yeah.
They're playing by the rules, working with regulators,
Yeah.
really trying to position themselves as the safe and reliable option.
It's like they're trying to build a bridge
So, brilliant.
between the crypto world and the traditional financial system.
Absolutely.
Remember when Coinbase went public on NASDAQ?
Huge moment.
Huge moment. Yeah, it felt like crypto was finally being taken seriously by Wall Street.
Major milestone for sure.
Yeah.
But some people argue that it was also a bit of a selling out moment.
Oh, interesting.
Is going public and playing by Wall Street's rules really in the spirit of decentralization? It's a complex question.
Yeah.
Valid arguments on both sides.
It definitely highlights that tension
It does.
between mainstream acceptance
Yeah,
and staying true to, crypto's roots.
absolutely.
And then you have Binance, which has taken a much more global and, shall we say, agile approach to regulation.
Finance is more like the maverick, pushing boundaries and expanding rapidly. They've run into some roadblocks along the way,
Yeah.
but they're not afraid to challenge the status quo.
So it seems like they're almost playing a different game
They are.
altogether.
Yeah.
But that aggressive growth strategy has also made them a target
It has.
for regulators in certain countries, right?
Absolutely. Their approach has been, let's build it first and figure out the regulations later, which has worked for them in some ways, but it's also led to some conflicts and setbacks.
So two very different paths
Very different path.
to success, or at least to navigating the
Minefield.
of all these regulations.
It makes you wonder if there's a right way to do this whole CEX thing. And the answer is probably somewhere in between,
Yeah.
a blend of compliance and innovation.
Right.
And that's where those hybrid models you mentioned earlier come in.
Oh, right.
The idea of CEX is trying to incorporate some decentralized features.
Yeah. Tell me more about that.
So it's a really interesting trend. Basically, CEXs are realizing that they need to address some of those concerns about control and security if they want to stay relevant in the long run.
So they're trying to find that sweet spot, that
Balance, yeah.
between centralization and decentralization.
Exactly.
Uh-huh.
And one way they're doing that is by integrating non-custodial wallets.
Okay.
So this lets you store your crypto on the exchange, but you hold your own private keys. So you
Right.
get the convenience of a CEX,
Yeah.
but with more control over your assets.
So it's like having the best of both worlds.
It is. You're not fully handing over control to the exchange like you do with a traditional CEX wallet.
Okay. Yeah.
And some CEXs are even starting to use decentralized protocols for certain functions, like order matching and trade execution.
Uh-huh.
This adds a layer of transparency,
Yeah.
reduces the potential for manipulation.
It's like they're dipping their toes
Dipping their toes.
into the world of decentralization, seeing how they can incorporate those elements without completely overhauling their existing infrastructure.
It's a fascinating evolution. They're adapting to the changing landscape and the evolving needs of users.
Right.
And speaking of evolving needs, we can't forget about the rise of decentralized exchanges, or DEXs.
Yeah, DKIXs seem to be getting a lot of buzz lately.
They are.
It's like they represent this whole other side of the crypto ecosystem.
They do,
Yeah.
and they're definitely a force to be reckoned with. DEX align much more closely with the original vision of crypto.
Okay.
Decentralization, transparency, user control.
Right.
There's no central authority calling the shots, which appeals to a lot of people.
Yeah, but from what I've read, they can be pretty complex to use.
They have been, traditionally.
Yeah.
But they're getting much more user-friendly. Newer DEXs are incorporating really intuitive interfaces and features, making them much more accessible to the average person.
So they're kind of closing the gap
Closing the gap,
in terms of user experience.
Yeah.
But can they compete with CEXs when it comes to things like liquidity and trading volume?
Those seem like pretty big advantages that CEXs have.
Yeah.
They are, but the gap is narrowing.
Okay.
As more people get into DeFi, decentralized finance, we're seeing more liquidity flowing into DXs. And they're getting better at handling larger trading volumes as well.
Right.
It's a dynamic space and things are changing fast.
So it sounds like the competition between CEXs and DXs is heating up.
It is, which ultimately is a good thing for users. It's driving innovation and forcing both types of exchanges to improve their offerings.
You know, it's fascinating to think about the future of centralized exchanges.
It is.
They've played such a pivotal role in the growth of crypto, but will they still be around in like 10 or 20 years?
It's hard to say for sure.
Yeah.
But I think they have the potential to adapt and remain relevant, but it's going to require some serious innovation and a willingness to embrace some of those decentralized principles that they've traditionally resisted.
So it's almost like they need to become
a
little less centralized.
A little less centralized.
In order to survive.
To survive, yeah.
In a world that's like moving towards decentralization.
What a twist.
What a twist, right?
Yeah.
We've talked a lot about like the challenges, the potential threats to CEXs.
Right.
But what about the opportunities?
Okay.
Like what's driving their continued growth and evolution?
Well, one major factor is the influx of institutional money into the crypto space. We're seeing big hedge funds, asset managers, even pension funds starting to invest in crypto.
Yeah, it's not just retail investors anymore.
Yeah.
The big players are starting to take notice.
Absolutely. And a lot of those institutional investors are looking for a safe and regulated way to get into crypto. That's where platforms like Coinbase come in.
Yeah.
They've built a reputation for compliance and security,
right,
which is very appealing to those institutional investors.
So the rise of institutional investment is actually a boon.
It is.
For CEXs, at least for those that are playing by the rules.
Yeah, at least for those. But it also raises some interesting questions about the future of decentralization. You know, if these big institutions start to dominate the crypto market, will they erode the very principles that made crypto so appealing in the first place?
Right.
It's a delicate balance.
It sounds like a bit of a double-edged sword.
It is.
Like more money flowing in can be a good thing.
For sure.
But it also has the potential to like change the landscape in unpredictable ways.
Absolutely. It's all part of the evolving story of crypto.
Okay, I think we've covered a lot of ground here.
There have.
We've explored the pros and cons of CEXs.
Yeah.
We dived into those like fascinating case studies of Binance and Coinbase.
Yeah.
We even pondered like the existential questions
Right.
about the future of centralized exchanges.
It's been quite a journey.
It has. But before we wrap up, I want to make sure we bring all this back to our listener.
Yeah.
If you've been listening to all this and thinking, okay, that's all well and good, but what does it actually mean for me?
Right.
Like, what are the key takeaways that you'd want to leave them with?
That's a great question. I think the most important takeaway is this. There's no one right answer when it comes to choosing a crypto exchange. The best approach depends on your individual needs, your risk tolerance, and your comfort level with technology.
So if you're someone who values like ease of use and convenience, you're comfortable with, you know, a centralized platform, then a CEX like Coinbase might be a good fit.
It could be.
Yeah.
But if you're more concerned about control, security, and the decentralized ethos of crypto, then you might want to explore the world of DXs.
Yeah, and even within those categories, there are so many options to choose from.
So many options. It can be overwhelming.
It can be,
That's why it's so important to do your research. Compare different platforms and choose one that aligns with your goals and values.
And remember, this is a constantly evolving space.
It is.
New technologies and platforms are emerging all the time. And the regulatory landscape is, you know, constantly shifting.
Always changing.
Yeah.
Stay curious. Keep learning. And don't be afraid to experiment.
Yeah. It's all about finding what works for you.
For sure.
And your crypto journey.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
The crypto world rewards curiosity. Engage with the community, ask questions, and have fun with it.
Well said.
This space is all about continuous learning and exploration.
Yeah.
Who knows, maybe you'll be the one driving the next wave of innovation.
What an exciting thought.
It is.
So as we're wrapping up this deep dive, it's clear that the world of crypto is constantly evolving, full of like challenges, but also incredible opportunities.
So many opportunities. It's clear you're the kind of person who's eager to keep learning and exploring.
Well, yeah. I mean, that's why we do these deep dives.
That's why we're here.
Yeah, I mean, we've covered a lot of ground.
We have.
From like, the fundamentals of centralized exchanges to the rise of decentralized platforms, the key questions to consider.
Yeah.
As you're like navigating this complex landscape.
Absolutely. Remember, there's no one-size-fits-all answer.
Right.
The key is to find what works for you, stay informed, and embrace the journey.
Well said. I think this deep dive has given you the tools and the insights.
For sure.
To, confidently take that next step in your crypto journey.
Absolutely. And remember, the most valuable asset in this space isn't Bitcoin or Ethereum. It's your own knowledge and understanding.
Couldn't agree more.
Yeah.
Keep exploring, keep learning, and who knows, maybe we'll cross paths again in the metaverse someday.
I look forward to it. Until then, happy trading.
All right, we've kind of laid out the landscape.
We have.
CEXs, DXs, the whole shebang.
Full 9 yards.
But I know you're not just here for theory.
Right.
Based on what we've uncovered, what are some actionable steps you can take right now?
I'm glad you asked. It's easy to get lost in the concepts, but knowledge is most powerful when you can apply it.
Exactly. So let's say someone is listening and thinking, okay, I'm ready to dip my toes into crypto. Where do I even begin?
First, don't rush in head first. Crypto moves fast, but it's more like a marathon, not a sprint. Remember those research skills that got you all those articles?
Right.
Put them to work.
Yeah, it's easy to get caught up in the excitement, but it's crucial to approach crypto with like a level head.
Yeah.
Do your due diligence.
Absolutely. Read up on how blockchain technology works, explore the different types of digital assets, check out various platforms.
Right.
Tons of resources, online articles, videos, even other podcasts.
Yeah, and don't be afraid to dive deep into specific projects that pique your interest.
All right.
Like see what problems they're solving, who's behind them, what the community is saying.
Great point. Look beyond the hype. If something sounds too good to be true, it probably is.
Yeah.
Be wary of those promising guaranteed returns or get-rich-quick schemes.
Right, so education is step one. What comes next?
Once you've got a basic understanding, define your goals. What do you want to achieve with crypto? Are you looking for long-term investment, active trading, using it for payments, or maybe exploring decentralized applications?
Yeah, there's so many different ways to engage with crypto.
There are.
It's not a one-size-fits-all world anymore.
Exactly. And knowing what you want to achieve helps you narrow down the overwhelming number of options out there.
Okay, let's say someone is interested in dipping their toes into investing.
Okay.
What's a good starting point?
For newcomers, centralized exchanges like Binance or Coinbase can be a good gateway. They handle a lot of the technical complexities and make buying and selling crypto pretty straightforward.
Right. And we talked about their pros and cons.
They do.
The convenience versus the control issue.
Right.
So I think our listener can kind of weigh those based on their own priorities.
Absolutely. And always remember, never invest more than you can afford to lose.
Right.
Crypto markets can be volatile, so start small and gradually increase your exposure as you gain more experience.
And spread that risk.
Yeah, got it.
Diversify your portfolio across different assets and platforms, just like you would with any other investment.
That's sound advice no matter what you're investing in.
Right.
Now, if someone's drawn to the decentralized side of things, the world of DXs and DeFi might be more their speed.
Right. We talked about how DXs, align more closely with the ethos of crypto.
They do.
That control over your assets, cutting out the middleman.
Exactly. But be prepared for a steeper learning curve.
Yeah.
The technology is still evolving, but that's also part of the appeal for some people, being on the cutting edge of innovation.
Right. It's like the Wild West of finance.
It is.
Full of possibilities, but you need to be a bit more savvy to navigate it.
That's a great analogy. And remember, whether you're leaning towards CEXs or DXs, doing your research and starting small are key.
Right.
Learn as you go. Don't be afraid to experiment with different platforms and strategies.
The crypto world rewards curiosity.
It does.
So, engage with the community.
Yeah.
Ask questions. Have fun with it.
Well said. This space is all about continuous learning and exploration.
Yeah.
And who knows, maybe you'll be the one driving the next wave of innovation.
What an exciting thought.
It is.
So as we wrap up this deep dive,
Yeah.
It's clear that the world of crypto is constantly evolving.
Constantly changing.
Yeah, full of both challenges and, like, incredible opportunities.
Incredible.
We've covered a lot of ground.
We have.
From the fundamentals of centralized exchanges to the rise of decentralized platforms and the key questions to consider as you navigate this complex landscape.
Absolutely.
So remember, there's no one-size-fits-all answer.
Right.
The key is to find what works for you, stay informed, and embrace the journey.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
Well, I think this deep dive has given you the tools and insights to confidently take that next step in your crypto journey.
It has. And remember, the most valuable asset in this space isn't Bitcoin or Ethereum. It's your own knowledge and understanding.
Couldn't agree more. Keep exploring, keep learning, and who knows, maybe we'll cross paths again in the metaverse someday.
I'll look forward to it. Until then, happy trading.